guys? We're back to channel for another reaction. The time has come yet again for another Lorna Shore installment. These guys are popping out the singles like hotcakes. They're just getting ready and gearing up for that album release coming in the near future, and there's gonna be a lot. I don't know how many tracks are on that album, but it seems like they're putting out a lot of singles, so hopefully we get, you know, a lot of different surprises on the album when that comes. I'm sure we will. I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of heavy stuff that we're not gonna, you know, anticipate on that album, so we're just gonna have to stay tuned for that as well. But this one is definitely a long one. This one's nearly a 9-minute song, almost 10 minutes, so we're gonna be watching a full short film almost on these tracks, because these guys definitely do their songs on the longer end. They like to tell a story. They like to, you know, add, you know, the ambience, the, you know, all the different sound effects, the different, you know, elements that they could add in a track, which I like, man. I like when bands add elements. They add, you know, just fulfill the song, just adding as much stuff in there to make it full, to make it, you know, just like a theatrical performance almost to listen to and to watch, which I do appreciate. But you never know what these guys have to bring. You know, Will Ramos is, he's just a beast out of his own. You don't know what he's gonna do. You don't know what he's gonna sound like, and just you don't know what new stuff he's gonna do to push the boundaries when it comes to deathcore. So I don't know what to think on this one, man. My mind is nearly melted already from the past track, because it was literally Into the Hellfire 2.0 from that breakdown. It was just the most intense, heaviest thing that I've ever heard from this band thus far. So in a 9-minute track, if you don't have something as that heavy or on that level of intensity, what are we doing a 9-minute song for, ladies and gentlemen? If they're gonna do like a 9-minute style breakdown, they better, because if this is just gonna be 9 minutes of just like, you know, filler or just, you know, ambient stuff, because if this is just gonna be 9 minutes of guitar playing, I mean, that would be cool too, I guess. But like I said, 9 minutes is kind of lengthy for a track, so I mean, a 9-minute solo could be intense as well, man. These guys definitely know how to write their, you know, solos. They could definitely, you know, push the boundaries when it comes to guitar playing as well. So a very lengthy solo could be a possibility, or maybe even a 2-parter solo in here. I don't know. Possibilities are endless when it comes to this band. You never know what you're gonna get. Before you start, be sure to go below, appreciate it, and it really help me out. If you like Lorna Shore, just as I do, be sure to like on this video as well. If you're new here, thank you for stopping by, checking out some awesome stuff. Come here, just getting started. Ladies and bangers, ladies and gentlemen, no time wasted. Let's get right into it. This is Lorna Shore's newest release track titled Glenwood. It's like a clean vibe. You know, clean tone. See, Will's running from something. Running from his past, perhaps. Definitely bring in the story element. Just pay attention, folks. See where this is going. Might get an emotional one. Call back in. Oh yeah! Oh yeah, I'm in. Let's go, Will. Get that emotional vibe. What? Definitely emotional one. You definitely say that, man. Family's falling apart. We're all singing about it. Mom walked down on him. So sad. Go back in. Oh, I love the riffs. Oh man, I can't even tell what's happening. So much noise. Go, man! Oh man, what a vibe though. Definitely a vibe. See, these guys definitely know how to do the emotion. They like to show that from time to time with their like storytelling. Like I said, man. My guy's going through here, man. Losing both of his parents. This world trying to tell us something. Could this be his past he's talking about? So many questions, ladies and gentlemen. Where are we going, though? Woo! Get that solo piece in! Woo! Oh, shut it up! Take me! Oh, I thought we were gonna go do a breakdown like this. Oh, open it up! Ooh, look at the cows, ladies. I can definitely see some similarities between Will and the video. Who knows? He might be trying to tell us something. This could be his own story he's trying to tell. So many questions, ladies and gentlemen. Come to visit Pops one last time. Man, it is a sad thing, man. It is a sad thing when, you know, a family breaks apart. Oh wait, here we go. We got a little synopsis right here. Will Ramos was estranged from his father for 10 years despite only living 20 minutes away. Wow, really? Only 20 minutes? Well, that's insane. They didn't speak once until after completing the Pain Remains tour in 2023. Wow, that's nuts. That's nuts to think. Because if you live not even an hour away, you know, 20 minutes, that's nothing from your father, and you didn't speak. You know what happened there? What was the correlation between the relationship? I'm sure there was like some feud between the parents and stuff like that. But that who knows what could have happened there? But wow. Wow, 20 minutes. That's insane.
This song is more about like just feeling like real and just being
Ooh, got a little
human.
bit
And
of
I
a
think there's a part of
little documentary.
everybody when they like go through hard things, and it's just easier to just turn away and just pretend that it's not happening. And you're like, okay, well, I don't like that, so fuck that. I'm not gonna deal with it anymore. And I think a part of me was that I wanted to come back here and make sure that no matter what, I didn't have regrets at any point in my life. I'm not like, shit, you know, I wish that I could have gotten closer to you again. Because in a way, I think we're very similar.
Dad?
And I think that's why we fought a lot also growing up, is because we're very similar. Because I'm very stubborn. And I know for a fact.
You may forgot, but I was here. I raised you.
Well, it's kind of interesting. His dad.
And you were stubborn as hell.
Never.
Oh, really? That's crazy. Yeah,
that's
spoken like a true
that's
stubborn
crazy.
person. Yeah.
Never
So you're
happened.
stubborn.
It's just that I was right. I was your dad.
Okay.
That's the problem.
All
okay?
right. And you know what, Dad? You kind of old now. So I'm over here and
Who's
I'm like,
old?
yeah, I'm like,
You
in
crazy?
my
He's glad
mind,
to
I'm
see
like,
that, you know,
holy
they're
shit,
actually
I need to
reunited
become,
for once,
we need to
though.
make
That
it
is-
right.
that is a
because
heartwarming ending.
if I don't, I'm gonna regret this for the rest of my life. So I came back and I knocked on that door and
And here we are.
Austin, he called me like the moment I left here.
Yeah.
And I just cried on the phone. I was just like,
So they filmed this in his house.
Spoke to my dad, man. Like, I'm crying right now. I'm like, I just
filmed
called
this in
my
his,
dad.
like,
I haven't spoken to my dad in
neighborhood
so
childhood
long.
home. That's
Baby,
crazy.
Just like when you were a kid.
I wonder what the reason was for them to not talk about
Oh,
It's okay.
it was one of the most important moments of my life, I think.
Maybe because
Thank you for
probably
being
to
a
do
part of
with,
this
you
video.
know, maybe
Absolutely. it's my
music.
yeah.
That maybe
I
had to
love
deal
you.
with
It's my
it a
pleasure.
little bit. You know, you can't
We
let
did
something
it.
simple as that, you know,
We
ruin a
did it.
relationship.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy, Dad. I knew we could do it.
Good job, Will. Proud of you, buddy.
Welcome back.
Man, look at that house, though. It's kind of tiny. A tiny home. Either way, but that's crazy though. Was that his mom then in the video? Was that his mom? It might be his mom. I mean, they kind of look similar. Sorry for the abrupt camera change in the middle of the song video there. Kind of gave out on me, so I had to quickly switch to a new one. But either way, what a banger. Like I said, I didn't know it was that deep. I didn't know, you know, that was Will's actual dad. You know, that is crazy to me. To think that they didn't talk for like so many years and they only lived like 20 minutes away. I mean, that's insane to me. That's definitely insane to me. You know, he doesn't really explain the reason why. He doesn't really say why they didn't stop talking. But I'm pretty sure it's more personal than what he wants to share with the public. So I will leave it at that. But, you know, families fight. Families, you know, go through a lot of hard times. I'm guessing, you know, this is reminiscent on his life. So they definitely got divorced, I guess, in some way. So that's maybe he didn't like his father for like certain reasons from back in his childhood. But, you know, but it is nice to see that they do come together at the end, especially after so many years, after so much time. You know, I'm guessing maybe the music could be deal with it. I don't know. Maybe you don't want to see your son, you know, screaming his heart out on stage. But to be honest, again, it is successful. It is a successful business. You can't help deny but be proud of him, you know, throughout all his, you know, struggles. And he's probably one of the best leading vocalists in any, you know, deathcore band, I would say. So definitely probably one of the popular ones out there. So you can't deny, you know, Will for being that. But so that's definitely a reason to be proud of your son, especially that is your son, you know, I would say. But because it definitely is an achievement in itself, especially with the level of popularity Lorna Shore has nowadays. But like I said, but song-wise, you know, it's very, you know, heartfelt. It's very emotional. You can definitely hear, you know, Will singing his, like, heart out in this one. It's just because it is that emotional. It is that raw, that impactful, you know, emotional song that he wanted to write. I don't know why it took this long to write it. I don't know if he was like holding this on for like so many years and he just now decided to like write it and put it out to the public. I don't know, but like I said, maybe he just wanted to put it out, or maybe wanted to write something because they just started talking again, so it's a more recent activity and made him want to write it. I don't know, but it was very interesting on the mix side of things. So it sounded, the mix was a little bit weird. It kind of sounded muted in my opinion. It sounded very, you know, kind of like, you know, it wasn't really full. It kind of sounded a lot trebly, like it felt like it was missing a lot of the bass. I don't know if that's just my headphones. I don't know if that's, you know, just the video compression. I don't know, but it sounded very muted to me in a way. Like it sounded like it was coming out of like some old speaker, if that makes sense. But it didn't really sound like prominent. It didn't really sound, you know, in your face as like other tracks, you know, that they do. So I don't know, maybe that's just me. But either way though, very intense, very heavy on the blast beats, very heavy. This drum man is insane, probably one of the best drummers out there to date as well. But definitely does not get a time to rest. But the only time the guy rests is probably when he does those tranquil breaks, those atmospheric tones. Other than that, he's just blast beating, calves swinging. But riffs are insane nonetheless. You definitely know it's a you definitely know it's a Lorna Shore riff when they do those string picking fast paced riffs, because I don't know what BPM they use. I don't know how fast these guys play, but it's definitely fast nonetheless. But these guys definitely know how to write those high tone, high note playing solos nonetheless. Very catchy, very high on the high end. My man's gonna run out of notes to play all the way up there. He's playing on like those 21st, 22nd fret up there. He's gonna run out of room with his fingies. So he's gonna have a hard time playing any higher than that. But very surprising, very talented nonetheless. All these guys are very talented, man, because it takes so much dedication, so much hard work to be able to pull off, especially in a band such as this genre. In fact, I feel like it's the most, technical when it comes to writing, when it comes to playing, when it comes to, vocals, stuff like that, because with those deep growling vocals screaming the entire song after song, and album after album, show after show, you definitely get tiresome, especially when you don't have any cleans in there. And I just can't wait to hear what's left on that album. So hopefully this might be a continuation to something, another track in the album. This might be like a sequel to something. I don't know. We're just gonna have to wait and see on that. Who knows what other stories they might have to tell on that album. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I'm super excited. I'm super hyped. When that drops, I'm gonna be doing an album reaction review, so be sure to stay tuned for that. Amongst all these other bands that are coming out with the albums, it's insane. There's too much coming out. I'm gonna have to get on that. But either way, be sure to hit that subscribe button, especially new here, because we go through everything right on the channel. Make sure anyone wants out on a single one. Guarantee that. And I'll see you guys in the next one.